Most Indian parents look at children as some kind of a retirement plan. Now, if you don't have kids, what becomes your retirement plan? In a middle class household, the child goes out and supports. We as DINK couple, we will not have this support at the time of retirement. So our retirement kitties should be prepared in a manner that
It's better not to have kids than to be an absent parent. I'll give you a very vivid observation. Like when I see that, it just disturbs me.
the household income in each of your house is 50 lakhs to 90 to 1 crore. That much income is enough to raise a kid. If money is not the issue, so there has to be a bigger reason. So what is that reason for you? I did speak to a lot of people who are around our age and they have children. And sometimes the reason has been holding the marriage together. You know? How much did you spend on beautifying the house?
For a 3 BHK, I think we spent close to 50-60 lakhs.
Real estate as an investment does not make sense. If I am using it for my consumption purpose, a waste of money. What I would rather do is,
I know couples who've been having problems conceiving and all. Oh, you have a problem. I mean, that's very disturbing for me again. Like, yeah, just mind your business.
the one biggest advantage I have as somebody with no kids and husband, whatever.
In today's episode, we have Jagriti and Nabanita sharing their experiences about the DINK lifestyle. Let's discover what's the DINK lifestyle, what are the money challenges a couple faces, the retirement plan for people with no kids, and reason for not having kids, even though they earn between 75 lakhs to 1 crore. Stay tuned as we break down this lifestyle and its financial challenges.
To begin with, I would like it if you'll give me a short intro. Along with that, I would like it if you could explain your own version of what is the difference between a traditional family lifestyle, which we all know, parents, kids, and DINK lifestyle, which is double income, no kids. So, hi, Shreya, this is Nabanita. I am 31 years old. I have shifted to Bombay 3 years back due to professional reasons. We are married also for 3 years now. Originally, I'm from Calcutta. So I am working with Anand Rathi Wealth as a mutual fund analyst. And the industry standard for is around 30 lakh, ranges between that.
Currently, I work for Google as a technical program manager.
Okay.
Been in this, this is my second job after my campus job at Goldman, and been here for almost 2+ years now.
Okay.
And in terms of my salary, I think anybody in my role with a similar experience would draw somewhere between like 50 to 80 lakhs, depending on a lot of factors, and including your ESOPs and variables, etc.
All of that included.
Correct.
50 to 80.
Correct. Yeah. So I think that's what I would say in
Okay.
terms of the salary part.
So for us, for someone who is living out of their hometown, I think DINK lifestyle becomes very much more preferable. So say for example, there's a holiday that comes up. Okay. You have to choose between going home or going on a vacation. That's the first choice. Now, if I have a third option, that is, I have a kid and also I have to factor in their examinations. I have to factor in other things related to the child. It becomes extremely complicated. It just enhances the complication. So I think DINK lifestyle is much simpler for someone who is probably not living with their parents. So yeah, that is one of the major reason you have decided, to currently. Yes.
Okay. Now, in terms of your traditional versus DINK, right? What I feel is, and I've also very closely observed the difference between parents, between children who've had present parents versus those who've not. Like, I feel it's okay. It's better not to have kids than to be an absent parent. Like, that's absolutely a no-no for me, right? So that's one thing I just can't. I'll give you a very vivid observation. Like, when I see that, it just disturbs me. So if you see, most of the pets are going on a walk with their owners, and most of the kids are their nannies.
Okay, exactly. Yeah,
It's so disturbing for me to just see that, because I live in a huge society, like 6,000 plus families. That's like something, doesn't matter which time of the day it is. It is like at any given point, I can show you that there are more nannies with kids and more owners, like, people who have their own dog and they're okay to bring them. I don't know how and why that's happening, but that's sadly the state of affairs.
So if I do the basic math in my head, I feel like the household income right now in each of your houses is hovering between 50 lakhs to 90 to 1 crore. Like, I'm just assuming, right? Now I feel like that much income in one household is enough to raise a kid anywhere in India. So, like I'm just trying to understand, like, if money is not the issue, so there has to be a bigger reason. So what is that reason for you? I think that is mostly time.
Yes.
So, say for example, at the end of the day, when we return from work, we are left with some 6 odd hours, right? And in between that, in that 6 hours, you would want to give some time for yourself. Actually, sometimes in Bombay, it's even lesser due to the travel. Yes.
Okay.
So let's put it simply. So maybe like you're left with some 4-5 hours, dinner, gym, and then you would really want to give some time to yourself. I did speak to a lot of people who are around our age and they have children. So I have started asking them, like, why have they chosen that life, And I came across with really surprising and disappointing answers. And sometimes the reason has been like as simple as holding the marriage together. There is probably a third person or somebody who is trying to interfere. Like it can be from the family. Okay, maybe in-laws. So it's like a child comes into picture and tries to bind all the external entities together. I think this has been happening since the beginning of time, no? Like, so many marriages. I don't think just in India. I'm pretty sure all over the world.
Yes.
You're making it work because it's a child in the equation.
Yes.
You are putting up with a lot of probably toxic behaviors or some values that don't align with you, but because there are kids, you're maintaining that relationship. Heck, even older people or elders in your family tell you that, there are problems in your marriage, have a kid.
That's again like first advice ever.
So it's like you, with that thought process, what happens? You are actually becoming toxic. As a mother, if I'm leveraging my child to get things done around according to my wishes, because till now I did not probably have the leverage part. Is it a nice thing? So it's kind of So definitely this is not a I always thought it's a misconception that I have in my head. Ki okay, marriages are surviving because of kids.
No.
So a DINK couple, what happens when they have fights? Because there's no kid in the equation now. No? So are they going to choose themselves and take a so-called selfish stand and end things, or what's going to happen? So is this a misconception, or are there any other misconceptions that people have regarding DINK lifestyle?
Some of the things that you'd always hear from people is, oh, you'll regret it later. Oh, you'll regret it later. अभी नहीं realize हो रहा, बाद में तुम्हें ऐसा लगेगा, ऐसा पता चलेगा, whatever, right? But I think I've heard again from a lot of people that I'd rather have that regret than the regret of not being able to give time, not being able to be present, not being able to, do things that would probably, or are probably needed for someone to have a very happy, healthy childhood, right? So I think that's one thing which I've constantly heard from people. Also to an extent, I know couples who've been having, let's say, problems conceiving and all, they've gone the IVF route or whatever, right? Oh, people or whatever, even if it's a personal choice to not do it by X number of years, you have a problem. What are these stories and this? And I mean, that's very disturbing for me again. I'm not just mind you.
Yeah.
This is something I think in India.
So disheartening as a woman to hear these things.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Anything from your experience, have you heard, let's label it misconceptions only, that you feel like other people have? like when I discuss with my husband, like, do we really want a child? We are very content with each other. Okay. And my team tells me, you'll have done the math. Yes, we recently did that math as well.
What was the number that came up after the calculation?
So basically, what we are trying to understand is, what if we retire early? What would be the number looking like? So I think it should be around 20 CR by the age of 50 that we both need collectively accumulate. Because the math that we don't do is, so for a DINK couple, we tend to oversplurge and spend. Okay. Now, there is another logic that comes into picture here. Okay. So, say, for example, in a traditional setup, you have a child. Okay. So, there's also the child growing up 20 years later also becomes a source of income. Of course, you are spending a lot to raise the kid. But sometimes in a middle class household, the child goes out and supports the parents. Right? So, here, we as DINK couple, we will not have this support at the time of retirement. So our retirement kitty should be prepared in a manner that we are completely sufficiently prepared to manage our entire next 50 years.
Next 50 years, health and everything, right? Insurances and whatnot.
So that's what we did, and then we came up with this number, which is very close to like 20 CR.
I was actually trying to get there, the reason I even asked, do you all know any older couple doing it? Because most Indian parents look at children as some kind of a retirement plan. Now, I'm not making this up. This is the truth. So, what is your retirement plan? Like, now, if you don't have kids, what becomes your retirement plan? You have already said that 20 crore thing, but is there anything more you want to deep dive into?
Like, I think today you can start that plan by creating different investment buckets, maybe, Like, what we do is we use these different pots, to accumulate our expenses. So, say, for example, I know there's a recurring expense that happens for me regularly. So, say, for example, my flights to Calcutta. It's pretty expensive, like comes somewhere between 1.2 to 1.5. Yeah, so we travel back and forth.
Okay, one round trip for two people.
Yeah, for one, I was just telling my portion.
Okay.
So, yeah, so it's around 20K up and down one time. We try to do that around 4 to 5 times a year. So 5 times 20K, 1 lakh, approximately that. So this is there. Then there are some trips for that also. We try to keep some money aside. And this is not a part of our investment. Okay. So the objective is to not dive into your long-term savings.
Got it.
So that is going to let your retirement kitty not get disturbed in the long run. So say, for example, if there's a health emergency, we have our insurances in place. If anything goes wrong with one of us, the term insurance is there to take care, along with our retirement corpus, which is still there. So I think this kind of planning can help you is that retirement stage where you don't, the main kitty of retirement does not get disturbed. So that should be the object.
Got it. So I think even I think both of us that way have been doing, been very mindful of where we're putting our money, right? So mostly the major part of it goes to mutual funds and everything. With obviously some bits of it, let's say some LICs, some PPFs, and a bunch of like these smaller buckets or NPF, those kind of tax saving things, etc., which I'm putting my money into, right? So I think that is kind of accumulated. There are also like some retirement funds explicitly that my father has, made sure that, there's some money there, because I think it gives you better returns and less, it has a lock-in period, so you can't even touch it. And thankfully, I think so far I've been a very passive investor. So I invest and I've forget money. So that way, the magic of, I can see, I've done like, I think 11 years, and I can see the magic of compounding. It's true. Like, it's like when they say it, I can vouch for it now.
Again, considering no children in the equation, you all are definitely reaching your FIRE number earlier than a lot of people.
Yes.
Right? You said your corpus. What's your corpus right now?
So I would say it's somewhere like near 2-ish.
Okay, and to what point? What is your FIRE number? Like, what have you decided?
Like between 6 to 7.
Yeah, definitely you all are reaching this way faster than somebody with children, right?
Absolutely.
Now, most of them are working so hard, of course, to build a lifestyle for their own self, and then they'll have kids. Now, after a point, you start working for children, right? And once you give them a certain life, they'll also want bigger things. Absar, and then crazy education, and master's degree. So that is what they're working for, right? So even obviously your fire number will be much higher, and they'll keep working. So what are your plans now once you hit your fire number, which will be earlier than them?
I have a family business in jewelry. So I wanted to start a boutique jewelry thing, like in silver jewelry kind of thing. But again, like my husband is like, this is like too congested right now. Like there are a lot of other players in the market, so you won't get the first mover advantage.
I think it's called red ocean. It's already
So the thing is like, I don't believe like there's always space if you can create a USP of the product. So I think once I get the required amount of capital, maybe if not this business, something else I'm definitely going to start. As I mentioned, I keep thinking in the middle of the
basically you will now, after reaching your fire number, you're going to work on building your own business.
It will be before the fire number.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
That I think the thought process should begin earlier.
So,
Yeah. So you need to plan, you need to talk to people. So currently I am in the phase of accumulating some capital, and then after that maybe move forward with this.
I think for me, because I've been traveling and creating a lot anyway, I actually love the camera for that matter. Like the photos, videos, it doesn't matter even if I have to post it. This is like pre-Instagram, I'm telling you. I used to have like so many pictures and all whenever I used to travel, because then people started telling me, why don't you start? And then I never took it seriously. But like, theek hai yaar, I'm working, right? And back then it was not a thing. Now it is. And I'm like, yeah, I think COVID gave me that time to breathe and absorb. And I'm like, yaar, why not give it a shot? And that's when I did pick up. I am at a decent number right now. But yeah, I definitely want to see how I can make it bigger. And if that can be something which can keep me busy. Because I love it.
Yeah.
Like you said, travel, all of this goes hand in hand, right? You travel, you create, you post, you earn out of it. I mean, that doesn't feel like work to me.
Let's move on to the next topic, right? Let me just say that I love kids. I love children, okay? I love playing with them. I like all the good stuff, okay? I don't know about the bad stuff yet, but overall, I know I love kids, babies, and toddlers. And I have friends with kids, right? And I've had like one particular friend of mine, she also lives in Bangalore. So we have this discussion. So the more I talk to her, the one biggest advantage I have, I see for myself as somebody with no kids and husband, whatever. But somebody with advantage. I should think of another episode now. Yeah, single women, no husband, no kids. So
we are all very traumatized. We don't know.
Yeah. So somebody with no kids, like I said, the biggest advantage I see is tomorrow, if I want, I can book my tickets and go wherever I want, right? So I'm not thinking about another person's timetable. Neither am I thinking about money. Like, oh, do I have to save this money for another human being now? I can spend it the way I want. So, and of course, it's very contrasting opinion for her because she can't do that. And we've had this conversation. So do you guys see any kind of lifestyle benefits when compared to your friends who are couples who have kids?
I think the first advantage you already mentioned, traveling. One, not traveling, like the spontaneity, like I mentioned, like the flexibility. I want to go see my parents. Bye. Like, no further discussion on that. Like, because these are things which I don't have to think about, but then who will take care of my parents? Who will take care of my kids? Who will take care of my babies and children and exams and schools, like she mentioned in the beginning, right? But what I've seen is mostly India being a very patriarchal society, right? The impact on women in particular is a lot more. See, no matter how much we talk about things are not equal when it comes to parenting, when it comes to household chores, it's not equal. So what I think ends up happening is, personally, like you said, for your friend, spontaneity is completely gone. Think about career. Who are the people leaving jobs? Females. Or I know I also have friends who actually put in their papers and they're like, I can't handle such a demanding job anymore because like they have to go to office all 5 days, or it's extremely demanding, or whatever it is, right? They can't handle it. So which means either a pay cut or completely out of the workforce, which means you're back to square one and being dependent on others, which again I don't know how they feel about. It's personal, like I'm not nobody to comment, but I don't think I will be comfortable doing that at all, right? Like I need my money to come from somewhere, and which is what I'm building. I'm like, कहीं से तो पैसा आना चाहिए. I can't just be like नहीं मतलब just comfortable सब कुछ छोड़ दिया. No, but how supportive my husband is. It's not about the husband. It's about my sanity and my peace of mind. So I think career-wise also there's a huge like dip. I see, like I said, some women who have been able to brave it all and be like नहीं हम करके दिखाते हैं. I just know for a fact they're just exhausted. Like literally full of mom guilt. I know like so many people at my workplace because they are doing that. Obviously, they're acing at their careers, but at what cost?
Anything you have observed regarding the lifestyle benefits?
Lifestyle benefits. I think like a child is like a blank canvas.
Yeah.
Like you need to, like how you're going to paint it is how it will look. Okay.
Wow.
So
That's
very
beautiful.
good, Anna.
yeah. So the thing is like it demands time. So this is like, as you see, like we have a full-time schedule. The child will also have a full-time schedule.
Yeah.
Right. So in that schedule, I will have to adjust my entire day. Right. Like
You have to tweak your schedule.
Yes. So if I am away, I will not get the time to take the feedback from different places and work on the child. Right. So it is just like a job.
Yeah.
Of course, it is much more than that. There's a lot of emotions. So So I recently joined this Toastmasters community, and so there was an icebreaker speech. Okay, where this lady comes up. She was working with, I think, Citibank before her marriage. Post her marriage, she was still working in that organization, but after that, she had to quit again because of children, right? And when she was giving her speech, she literally had tears in her eyes that, okay, I am that same ambitious woman trying to get back on my feet again after 5 years. And she started, I think, working again, but getting that pace after 5 years of dropping your job, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So I think like the difference is like I can continue moving towards my like in my career path at the current pace in which I am moving without any external difference, if I put it that way.
Also, I think, I mean, if I have to think a little bit, maybe one more thing could be I could live anywhere I want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? If I feel like, I mean, I get these thoughts sometimes, like maybe I should just rent a place in Goa and just like go from there.
Yeah.
And just come here when there's a podcast, right? So I think that's also one
Location independent.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think for me, another thing matters is a lot is parents. Okay. So as a child, I have been very sentimentally and like very, very attached to my parents, while growing up. So of course, for education and work, we did move out of home. However, there's this, I don't know how many of you will resonate with this thought, but there's always this guilt that we have that we are probably not doing enough for our parents because we don't live together. Okay, so I try to make up for it by calling. However, I always feel like if I would have been there with them, it would have been better. So that guilt keeps playing. So that extra time I would rather devote towards my parents.
Okay.
So I think that's a different like thought that I have, that it gives me that extra bandwidth to take care of my parents.
I completely not like. I think you guys spoke my mind because I'm exactly in the same boat. Every 2-3 months for a couple of weeks, I go see them, or make sure they come here, or we make a plan, or I take them on a trip. Now, I think I'm also in that phase now where I want to know do this for them. Like, मैंने काफी travel कर लिया. Like last year, I took my entire family. I mean, the goal was my parents, but then my brother got added, my husband, everybody got added. So I took my entire family on a Europe trip. Costed a bomb for me, but I just love doing that now. Like this year, February, I made just like within 2 days, I made a plan. Me and my mom went to Azerbaijan.
So sweet.
Yeah.
So nice to hear about this doctor-parents relationship.
Yes.
Very healthy relationship you all share. That's nice. I want to touch upon expenses because I think we brought it up, right? Obviously, for most married couple with kids, the biggest expense that they have yearly, I'm talking, is education. The school fees is crazy these days. Yeah, crazy. Absolutely.
Crazy is an
So,
understatement.
Yeah. So for you both, who chose not to have kids now, so what are your biggest expense year on year?
So for me, I would say, I think because we have our own house and I'm crazy. Like, I mean, again, I think I have a lot of kida for doing like
Interior stuff,
and
okay.
yard decor. And it's been like I don't know, as a woman or whatever it is inside me, I've been just wanting to do it. So I'm like, let's do it up. Then up the COVID bhi ho gaya, ab shayad office kabhi na jana pade. Obviously things change. Not like
How much did you spend on beautifying the house?
did like for a 3 BHK, we went. I think we spent close to 50-60 lakhs. We stopped.
50.
Yes, we stopped keeping count.
that's a big
after
number.
after a point, we realized that both of us have lost our minds because I'll tell you why it happened. So I have my set of things, which is like aesthetics, hard needs to look, and he is a tech freak. So the whole house is automated. So it's a masterpiece, I have to say. Like, we're very proud of, again, not regretting a penny that we spend. Like, and again, then I think the next big expense for me is definitely travel, for me personally.
What about you?
So, I'm a conservative. I have an approach towards spending.
Okay.
So, let's look at the real estate returns. It's ranged city-wise. It has ranged around 5 to 7%
Over the last 10
Yes.
years or something.
So, real estate as an investment does not make sense. Point one. Second, if I am using it for my consumption purpose, it's a waste of money. What I would rather do is put that money into a mutual fund, let it grow at 12%, stay on a rented property, and that excess EMI that you could have, you would have actually lost, right?
Yeah.
Put it in your investment, and later when you're say 45, 50, and then you really want to go ahead and buy a house. So you can do that always.
Okay.
So yes, travel is the most expensive part. Try to allocate around 2 lakh to 2.5 lakh per year.
Okay.
Towards travel. I think I would
So
put
this
it that
travel
way.
includes like vacation
Yeah. So we try to do one international and one Indian. Yeah.
per year, one international,
Yes.
one. Okay. And you,
Yeah. Sometimes we go overboard and do two as well, but
because who's
but
stopping?
then- yeah, stopping. Yeah. I think that's the advantage.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any advice you guys have for couples out there who are considering opting this lifestyle?
Guys, it's not an Instagram trend to follow. Like, don't, please. Like, yes, it's there, but don't just do it again because everybody's doing it. Think through this, and probably harder than how much you thought about your marriage or that decision. Because yes, it's a big deal. I'm not going to say that it means nothing. It does, financially, mentally, physically. Just think through everything. And if you've made a decision, let's say you already made a decision and want to go this route, then don't, just embrace it, I would say. Don't question yourself. Don't feel, oh, good, bad, right, wrong, nothing, right? Because it's not good or bad. Like, what works for you is good, and that's right. And I would just say, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So child is like an irreversible decision, right? You can't have a child and oops, I made a mistake.
Yeah. That doesn't work.
So think through carefully, take all the emotional, financial, I won't say financial, like let's put emotional uh, perspectives in place. And it should not be a decision which comes out of pressure, peer pressure, parental pressure, emotional pressure.
That's very important.
So,
Yeah.
okay, or societal pressure. So, it should be your decision. It's something very personal. You will come across a lot of different opinions, a lot of people trying to tell you and explain you that this is the time. But if you are not ready, don't go for it.
Yep.
And of course, like if you want to give your love to somebody, you can always adopt later. It can be a human being, it can be like a pet as well.
I think, just to add on to that, like I feel like it's very important that I address this to the viewers that this discussion did not take place where we're trying to tell you don't have children,
no,
or
absolutely
have
not.
children,
No,
adopt animals instead. It's nothing like that. See, there is no right or wrong way
Yes.
of living life. You make your choice, and you make sure that choice is the right choice for you.
Absolutely.
The only reason that we are here right now having this discussion is to kind of deep dive into this so-called trend that's been going on, which is becoming really like a favorite, viral or a favorite amongst young couple, because young couples are having these kind of discussions even before marriage.
Yes, now they are.
Yeah,
Yes,
so I wanted to
absolutely.
get real life people, regular people who are leading this lifestyle, and to kind of understand the thought process, understand or kind of explore this topic even more.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's individual choice. If somebody's out there trying to explore this lifestyle, hear it from real people. That's the only thing. But at the end of the day, it's your choice.
Yes.
But make it the right choice.
Yes.
Right.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. So, guys, on that note, I'm so glad you're stuck till the end. And I'm so glad that we had this discussion. Like, something so different. And I had a great time with both of you. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll also be dropping a form link in the description box. If you want to be a guest on our show, please fill it in. And I'll see you in the next one.